I actually think you got to spend a moment thinking about what is motivating Rupert Murdoch here. I mean, here's a guy who has a network which he's not selling. He keeps control of the Fox network, and yet he's selling the production arm, the arm that produces or manufactures the content for that network. And that seems on the surface to be crazy. Then you say, why would he be doing that? I think he's doing that in part because if you look at a company like Netflix, $8 billion a year is their programming budget. What is Fox's programming budget or NBC's programming? Roughly $2 billion a year, so 4 times the amount. So he's saying, I can't compete with these people. So what do? By selling the production or the manufacturing arm to Disney or Comcast or someone else, I still have my network, but what's my network going to be? I'm going to get out of, potentially, the scripted business totally. I'm going to do sports, I'm going to do news, and I'm going to do reality programming. Now that will then put pressure on all the other networks to say, hey, can we compete with Netflix and Apple and Amazon for scripted programming, which they have the money, we don't. And I think Murdoch may have made a very calculated and future-oriented decision that this is not a business I can continue to be in.
And what options, Ken, does that leave for everybody else who's in the scripted business? Is the answer now just, okay, well, Netflix is throwing more money at this than anybody else, and so we just have to get that big, maybe consolidate all the way down to just a couple other players and call it a day?
Well, I think one of the things that's attractive is Hulu as a potential competitor against Netflix. And Hulu has a dysfunctional organization with 4 owners, and it's very hard for them to agree, and they're losing money now. If you had one owner, they could act with alacrity, potentially. But Netflix is really this giant out there, and with very deep pockets, as is, you know, obviously Amazon and Apple. So as the judge said, these people have changed the mix and the game.
And Ken, finally, if you had to guess about how this ends up, or kind of to remind everybody what this means for the consumer down the road, what do you think it does look like?
Well, I mean, if you get out of the script, if Murdoch gets out of the scripted business, assuming he does, at the Fox network, what pressure does that put on CBS, NBC, and ABC to also get out of the scripted business because they can't compete with Netflix and the other digital giants? If that happens, then obviously the consumer, the kind of programming they're going to get on the networks is going to be very, very different.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.